Response Plan for Foot and Mouth Disease Outbreak by Kinsey Everhart, Reed Hall, Caleb Watkins, and Abdul. Here's just an overview of what the attack consists of. A Texas cattle farmer attended a hunting trip of a lifetime in Gorno, Russia, where as of December of 2017 was not clear of foot and mouth disease. The farmer came into contact with the disease while on this 12-day hunting trip. Two of these trips he got a trophy stag boar. Out of excitement, he did not wash his hunting clothes or boots before heading to his next destination of France to visit his family. However, this short trip, he returns to his farm in Texas to continue his normal day-to-day operations that includes hands-on contact with the herd. The herd consists of 75 head of Black Angus cross cows, in which 60 are feeder that are ready to go to the stockyard. 2 days after getting back from his trip, the farmer takes his yearlings to the stockyard in Turk, Texas. He wears his boots from the trip and runs into old friends and meets new friends. He hugs them and shakes their hands. All truck and trailers that pull through the same unloading dock are now contaminated and take it back to their farm. Kansas and Nebraska are also leading states when it comes to beef production. The cattle from his herd, or the ones that came in contact with his herd, were sold to two main feedlots: Ottawa County Feeder Inc. Incorporated in Minneapolis, Kansas, and Lincoln County Feedlot in Nebraska. The loading and unloading of these cattle from trailers served as a vector for the virus to move between state lines. The mortality in the affected areas will be 100% because all the animals must be euthanized if they may have come into contact with the virus. Whether they test positive or not, this outbreak not only affects the beef cattle industry, but also other cloven hoofed animal industries as well as the grain industry. Public perception will also become an issue for the industry. The public will question the safety of their beef and choose a different meat to buy. Some prevention ideas would be, according to the attack report, the farmer made the crucial mistake of not cleaning his clothes upon the arrival to his household. This is only one way of the many flaws this farmer could have in his practices, which need to be up to standard to avoid an FMD outbreak. To do so, you must begin with putting a physical barrier at the main access point of your farm. For example, the front gate. This is to prevent trespassers who could bring unwelcome pathogens to the farm. Second is to have two sets of vehicles, preferably one for on the ranch use and one for off the ranch use. That way you can avoid bringing in contaminants. Anything that is coming from somewhere off the farm to on the farm must be thoroughly power washed before being used in the operation. Likewise, the farmer must also be clean and should take a shower before working in and out of both off and on the farm. They should also use specific sets of clothing dedicated for farm use only that are thoroughly washed afterwards. The livestock on the farm should be allocated further into the farm and not near the fences or close to the roads where they can be exposed. The farm should also employ the use of disinfectant buckets for tools, boots, and other things that are not easily washed. There was another time where the FMD outbreak could have been prevented in the attack plan. The outbreak could have been stopped by the stockyard. If they just asked for a blood sample from the farm, they would have been able to avoid the virus. This works because FMD needs 5 days to show clinical signs of the disease, but the disease will show up. All the infected farmers' cattle would have been shown to be infected with FMD. Detection takes about 5 days after picking up cattle from the stockyard. The feedlot worker notices a few of his cattle are off their feed. He knows this is a problem because cattle off feed will not have a good average daily grain. This means the feedlot will lose money. The worker notifies the owner, and the owner calls the vet. Upon arrival, the vet looks into the cattle showing symptoms, mouth, and notices blisters. Alarmed, he draw he draws blood to run tests for FMD and other possible illnesses. Within 24 hours, the test comes back positive for FMD. Foot and mouth disease is considered to be the most contagious infectious disease of cloven-hoofed animals. Rapid detection and identification is key for disease control during new outbreaks because it is highly contagious viral disease that has the potential to destroy the livestock industry as well as the economic of even countries free of the virus. Agencies must be capable and equipped to handle an outbreak of any magnitude. The capability of rapid control is important to implement control methods. Practically, this looks like avoiding contact with infected animals and being able to stop movement of truck, trailers, and farmers. Another big factor for a country to be capable of stopping the spread of FMD is having quality vaccines on hand as well as being able to administer them. Policy is one of the last steps of rapid detection. Once the virus is identified, a slaughter policy must be implemented. Some response steps. The first step a farmer should take is to report to sick cattle to the vet to check his cattle. The next step would be controlling the disease is to notify the state and to notify surrounding farms. And the biggest, most difficult part of this procedure is to eradicate process of the herd. In this step, the USDA trained team must eradicate the herd without spreading the disease. Some recommendations to follow on. Probably before the farmer leaves his farm, he should do some what if scenarios of what's going to go down wherever he's hunting at, or if there's any contaminated areas or diseases happening around him while he hunts, and if so, take the proper ideas of some ideas of what happened. Some other things to look over are some cost estimates of what FND would do. Some severe economic loss due to decreased production. For example, milk production will decline. The growth rate of the animals will be low, and mortality of the young animals is high. There is also trade restrictions between FMD-free countries and also FMD positive countries. This is a large outbreak, could cause an economic loss of $14 billion in farm income. This is due to loss in consumer demand due to fear and decline exports. To stop this economic losses, it would cost the outbreak are mainly linked to the prevention of the virus. It would cost most to stop an outbreak already started than to prevent it. Better biosecurity methods need to be implemented for farms, stockyards, and feedlots. And overall, farms should increase their annual budget for biosecurity reasoning by at least 10%. For farms, feedlots 20%, and stockyards at least 30%. And here are our references, and thank you.